Where do bumblebees normally nest?
So it feels like I'm supposed to say in a beehive.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a trick.
Right.
I'm gonna say in a flower.
It is underground, actually.
Okay, I was not even close.
Not close at all.
No.
If you guys can hear that, Jeff is back on the nice mic. We are in the studio today.
Really, in the studio, as in thousands of miles apart.
Yeah, really back to the professional setup. Yeah, Jeff's back in Florida. Since the last episode, I got a really bad cold, but I'm pretty good now. I'm just giving a disclaimer for the rest of the episode that you might hear me clearing my throat, coughing, hacking some stuff up. But
Did you sound like this in your new YouTube video?
So I did record. So something funny about this week is that hours before the cold got really bad, because I could already sense it coming on, I actually got a voice acting gig for something that I'm not gonna spoil yet because there's a chance it doesn't happen. But it was like a really cool opportunity, and I was like, of course I get a cold the week I'm supposed to record this. And then I also recorded my video that same day. So I was sick while recording my YouTube video on Clifford this week.
But you got it out there.
I got it out there, yeah.
This one, I'm expecting big things from.
Big red things, yeah.
This is your most acclaimed series, I think.
Where
you watch a movie
so you don't have
that's
to.
Bad. Exactly.
Yeah. Those typically do pretty well. But you never know. You know, I think I really do anticipate Clifford doing some numbers because, well, first of all,
it's a ridiculous movie.
It's ridiculous, and I also looked it up, and like nobody has touched this yet. Like, not a lot of YouTubers have touched this one yet. So I'm really getting out there in front of everyone, taking one for the team, and if you haven't seen the video yet, you should check it out.
I want to just give you a content idea.
Okay.
What if you pretend every movie's bad, and you do your whole series where you're like, I watched the French Dispatch, and you don't have to.
I watched Dune, so you don't have to. Yeah, that would be. I don't think that would go over well, to be honest.
I think the comments would be interesting.
Yeah. I'd definitely be a pretty controversial guy, but I think everyone would be like, yeah, we already watched it, so. Because that happened with my Sonic video when I did this for Sonic, and I posted it like a few days late, and a bunch of people had already commented. They were like, too late, I already saw it, and I liked it, so fuck you. And I was like, okay, all right, I get it. But yeah, Clifford, I don't think will have that same. Clifford's just like the ideal movie for that because it's a kids movie. It's not like Sonic where like there's some interest for older kids. Like nobody over the age of like 12 is gonna see this. So
yeah,
I literally did watch it, so you don't have to. I also have a mustache going. If you can't tell, trying to do no shave November, and probably gonna shave it today. To be honest, I don't know how far I'm gonna last.
Yeah, you're a big trend guy.
Yeah. Yeah, big into following the trends. Jeff, was it you that was a part of that competition we had like 3 years ago? Back when you were still in Chicago, and we were trying to do No Shave November, and whoever lost had to take a shot of something.
Yeah, I think so.
And you won, I'm pretty sure, because I
did win.
You just grow mustaches year round.
That's just it's easy for me. I practice.
Do you have any advice? Because my issue with mustaches is that they get kind of prickly.
Yeah, so my advice is be older.
Okay.
Because I couldn't grow a mustache till I was like 25.
And you don't put any oils in it? Or
no, that's weird.
Why would it be weird? I heard it like makes the hair healthier. It softens it up.
I mean, that sounds like that might be true, but that also sounds like something a guy wearing a flannel drinking a craft beer would say.
It's a lie made by the big hair companies.
Yeah, it's
They're
yeah.
yeah.
See, here's the
Interesting.
thing. I just want to be very clear that having a mustache is not a part of my personality.
I mean, when people send in fan art, they never miss the mustache with you. There's always a mustache.
Yeah, that's
on
appearance.
Jeff.
That's like saying that when people do fan art of you, you have hair. That's just
But
a
you don't
physical
make it your
characteristic.
thing.
No, I'm not trying to be the mustache guy. So
Is there
for
a
everyone out there
reason?
listening, do not send me anything that says Jeff the mustache guy.
Is there a reason though that you have a mustache, or is it just not into shaving?
I don't know.
Just late. Like,
No,
Yeah.
I just do.
All right.
I'm just like, yeah, that looks all right.
Cool.
I'll go with it.
See, I make it a thing every time I grow up my mustache, so we're different.
Yeah,
in
you
that
do
way.
mention it every
I
time,
do mention it every time.
which is great for audio because people don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're listening and you don't know what Carson looks like, he has a mustache. He's currently has a very big unibrow.
tons of zits.
Yeah.
Do I actually have No, I don't. I was like,
No, you don't.
Is it visible? Yeah. And Jeff also has a mustache. Jeff, you have the situation that like goes down your mouth though.
So kind of, because I don't really grow hair like right here, so
Yeah.
there's kind of usually a little bit of a gap.
Interesting.
This is just me being lazy and not shaving for like 5 days. This was
Gotcha.
not an intentional look.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I had a fun tidbit to bring up. I don't know if you can see in the back, but I have boxing gloves because I took I took one boxing lesson just because I wanted to get into it. I was like, I think I want to become a boxing guy and just have that skill. And I don't think I'm going back, to be honest. I don't think that's my thing. It's a really exhausting sport is what. Maybe I'm just out of shape and more used to like biking and cardio, but like that's not my kind of sport.
Yeah, no, boxing is ridiculously exhausting.
Yeah.
Like that's an actual strategy that some boxers have is like don't throw that many punches and just block all the other guys' punches, and then he gets really tired because he threw so many punches.
Yeah. It's I didn't think it would be that bad, but I was exhausted after just like the jump roping, which was like our first drill at the lesson. And first of all, I'm really bad at jump roping. I don't know the last time you jump roped, but it's really difficult. And yeah.
I'm not sure I agree jump roping's difficult.
It's pretty my feet kept getting stuck in the rope.
Yeah, see, I was with you on the boxing being tiring, but
All
I'm
right.
not with you on the jump roping
Not
being
with
difficult.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
It was just like I wish
doing it really fast is difficult.
Yeah, he wanted me to go fast. He's like, pick up the
Okay,
pace, and I was like, coach, I can't do that.
Were you wearing like a hoodie?
No.
Okay, that's like Lil Mac from
Yeah.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
No, I couldn't. But my form, that's the other thing. It's just embarrassing because it's not like a beginner's class. It was just general boxing. So there's a guy there that's been doing this every day for like 5 years. And then there's me. So when he's like, get in the stance, I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And he has to like stop the class and be like, everybody pause, and then walk over to me and like adjust my arms. And it's just, it was a humiliating experience. I was like, I can't do this again.
At least he didn't make you like get in the ring with that guy.
Well, he did. Well, at one point he was like,
5 years.
He's like, everybody get in the ring. And I was like, oh, coach, no, I don't think I'm ready yet. Let's just keep jump roping. And the drill in the ring is just you like prance around in a circle or something. It was really weird. I don't think I'm going back. But I do think I'm going to pick up like a club swim team or something because that's more my speed. And I kind of want to get back into
some
swimming.
polo.
Oh, no, I could not do water polo. That's
Not water polo, regular polo.
regular polo.
On horses.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a crazy personality to pick up.
Yeah, just I feel like that might not go well with your public image.
No. I'm like, sorry guys, couldn't get a video out this week. I had polo practice. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean that might it might make your argument saying that you're not pretentious a little bit difficult.
Yeah. Have you ever picked up boxing, Jeff? Like, have you ever?
No, my mom years ago did kickboxing like training as like an exercise thing, not like competitive.
Yeah. No, I heard kickboxing is also like a very good workout, and I considered that as well. But I was like, boxing just seems cooler. That's cool though.
Yeah, we'll tell that to the kickboxers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll kick you.
Okay. Anyways, how's your week, Jeff? Getting into that really late.
All right. I am back in Florida.
Back in Florida.
Yeah. I was in Wisconsin for a few days. I didn't stop in Chicago.
I was gonna say
wasn't on the cards.
Pretty close to me. Damn.
Yeah.
Where in Wisconsin?
Didn't have, Milwaukee.
Adele's? Oh, Milwaukee. Milwaukee's that's really close. Actually, that's like an hour
it's like
and a half
2.5 hours. I think.
Damn.
I think it's 2.5.
I didn't even know.
I know.
That's really.
I was
really
only there
cool.
for a few days though.
Damn.
But you know what? I'll see you pretty soon. I think.
Pretty soon. Get through the holidays, Yeah, I was actually thinking. Speaking of you, me and Nick were considering doing an impulsive Europe trip, where we went to London and then Paris and then Amsterdam, and then maybe Copenhagen. But ultimately decided that's a little too much to squeeze into a week and a half in the middle of December.
Oh, week and a half.
Yeah, it would be like 3 days per place.
Yeah, you could do it. It's just those are a bit like scattered for that.
Well, I mapped it out.
Yeah, you could make it work.
I did the whole. We found Airbnbs, we found tickets, and I put all the budget together, and we were able to do it for a pretty reasonable price. Like it's possible. I was just like,
no, it's definitely possible. It's just like
it just takes away Christmas money. And also, I'm like, we should just do this in like March or something, not during the holiday prices, because the plane tickets right now are kind of fucked. But I guess in March it'll be spring break prices.
Yeah. So wait, when was this going to be?
In December, middle of December.
Yeah. Now the only thing with that is some of those places are pretty cold.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And we were also like COVID, but I don't know what the COVID situation's like over there. I feel like it's more under control, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of the European countries have higher vaccination rates than the U.S.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm about to get my booster shot on that note.
Oh, yeah?
Booster and flu shot the same day, which I heard really kills you, but they recommend it, so I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, you sounded unsure, but you're like, I'm going to go with it.
I'm also going to be hosting a trivia at a bar trivia in 2 weeks or something, which I'm really random thing that I asked my friend if I could do, and she was like, yeah, I'll tell my boss. So I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's going to be at Brownstone on December 1st. Catch me hosting trivia.
You have to add one question that's just a Karsten Rundquist trivia.
I'm like, how many episodes are there of the Karst cast? No one gets it.
I wouldn't get that right either.
Yeah, I barely know, honestly. I think it's 132. Yeah. Anyways, long intro today. Lots to talk about, lots to catch up on.
Yeah. I don't have a segue for this.
No. Speaking of intense weather changes coming up, this week we're talking apocalypse movie Finch.
Finch.
Starring Tom Hanks with a robot.
Yeah. Before you get to the Google synopsis, did you hear anything about this movie?
I did not. No. Because Jeff, you recommended this. Well, you didn't recommend it. You were like, we should just talk about Finch this week.
Yeah, because we didn't have a movie, picked. And I was just like, what about Finch? And the reason I suggested that is because I had seen a commercial that it was on Apple TV. And that was the first time I'd ever heard about it.
Yeah.
It was that day or the day before I said we should watch it.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
and it my response was that it seemed like a very Cast movie because it's just like Tom Hanks, a dog, and a robot, which is like I don't know what that means, but that's just like so something we'd talk about. It's just called Finch. Yeah, we did not know that the robot was just called Jeff in the movie.
I did not know that.
Which is super funny.
They had this whole conversation in the film about what his name should be. And then he's like, what about Jeff?
And they run with it, yeah. Yeah, it's I had heard very little about this. I was just like, I think I've like seen a billboard for it or something, but yeah, which doesn't make sense because it seems like it has a pretty sizable budget. It's Tom Hanks. Like, seems like it would be a big movie, and
I think it was one of those films that was shot like right before COVID, and then if I remember correctly, it was sold to like Apple TV just because all the theatrical stuff was so unsure.
Yeah, I mean, I looked a little bit into it, and it had like a really messy production. Like took a long time to get this thing out, which is interesting. But anyway, the synopsis for it reads. A robot that lives on a post-apocalyptic Earth, which was built to protect the life of his dying creator's beloved dog. It learns about love, friendship, and the meaning of human life. That's a weirdly written synopsis, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
That is what the movie is. Here's a better one. Actually, never mind. We'll just stick with that.
Making choices on the fly.
Yeah. That's what the Cast is all about. I do have some reviews for this that I wanted to toss out before we got into it.
Yeah,
if
sure.
That's okay with everybody. Seems like the crowd is responding well. This first one comes from Troy Jones. It gave it 2 stars and said, pretty boring, ... The trailer shows all the exciting stuff, and that was it. Robot and dog and dying Tom Hanks, ... Which is not... It was funnier when I read it, but I'm like, it's kind of just nailed it. That's...
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
mean, a
summed
little
it up.
bit.
This next one comes from Moose Moose, 2 stars, and it reads, human part well done, dog part well done, robot part fail, ... Let's robots be robots, ... For now, ...
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Let's robots be robots for now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And that does get into like parts of this movie that are weird. Like the robot personality is weird in this movie, which I'm sure we'll talk about if you get your final review out of the way.
A lot of weird things to say about the robot, definitely. And this last one comes from Gabriella Belda. Her profile picture is just a pink flower. 5 stars. Said, love it. Family time. ... Everybody watching it on the couch. Awesome. Hand clap emoji.
Yeah.
That's it. That's...
I mean, unless one of your family members was that first guy.
Yeah.
Everyone's like enjoying it, and then he's like, this sucks. I already saw all these exciting things in the trailer.
And the second guy's also on the couch like, robot part, fail. And everybody's
this dog's a great actor, but this robot, I don't believe it at all.
Yeah. This movie only has really like 2 people in its cast as well.
Yeah.
It's Tom Hanks as Finch and Caleb Landry Jones as Jeff, which if anyone's familiar with Caleb Landry Jones, very interesting guy. Like has been
I'm
in
not
some
familiar.
You know the face though. You've seen Get Out. He's the creepy brother in Get Out.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen Get Out.
You haven't seen Get Out?
I haven't seen
Oh,
Get Out.
Okay. There was a doubt in my mind. I was like, wait, has Jeff seen Get Out?
Yeah. Right when you said that, I'm like,
oh no. Well, I don't even know where to go from here. I was like, he's the Get Out guy, but he's also in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which
I haven't seen that.
I'm gonna guess you have seen the Florida Project.
I have seen the Florida Project.
He was in the Florida Project as like the maintenance guy who helps Willem Dafoe. Don't know if you remember him. But he's
think
a really weird looking guy, and he's always been like kind of a creepy, slimy looking character. But he's really sweet in this movie. That's
As a robot that has a Russian accent for some reason.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
See,
anyways,
okay, just the first thing I want to say about this film is that it is not a sci-fi film.
not a sci-fi movie. No.
That's what I was expecting, seeing the 30-second commercial. I was like, okay, this might be like some weird Tom Hanks sci-fi thing. This is absolutely just like a character-driven, emotional story. It's not...
Yeah.
The sci-fi elements, there was no effort to even remotely make them make sense.
No.
The technology does not make any sense. Never explained how, in the clearly not too distant future, Tom Hanks can make a completely cognizant robot.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And somehow he just makes the eyes. He just pulls out like telescope lenses out of his other robot and plucks them in this robot, and now this guy can see.
Him putting together the robot is glossed over so quickly that I'm just like, wait a second. Especially by the end of the movie where this robot is talking like a normal person and not like a robot. I'm like, what is this machine that he has built?
It's lots of neural networks.
Yeah. I guess that's all of the stuff out of the way. What did you think of Finch, Jeff?
I mean, it's a very slow movie.
It is very slow. Yeah. Which is surprising because it's half like one of the most easygoing, like kind of comfortable, like it's Tom Hanks, and I feel like Tom Hanks is usually associated with these very like accessible family dramas, and that's kind of what this is. But like you said, it's also extremely slow paced, not in a way that like, because he was, this, it reminds, a lot of people are comparing it to Castaway, which it is very much like, because it's just Tom Hanks alone. But Castaway never felt like slow. This really like takes its time.
Yeah. And I'm not necessarily even saying that in a completely negative way.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a really weird movie. You know what movie I think I've seen it reminds me the most of is this film called All Is Lost, starring Robert Redford, where he's alone the entire film on a boat. And there's no dialogue in the entire film.
Really?
Yeah.
How long is that movie?
I think it's like an hour and a half or something. Yeah, it's just there's no dialogue for the duration of the film.
I've never heard of that. Also, the title's hilarious. Just All Is Lost. Very self-explanatory.
So, I mean, which is similar to the situation in this film.
Yeah. All is lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's just in an RV instead of a boat.
Yeah. Well, it's got good reviews.
No, it's a pretty good film.
We should
I suggested we watch it once for the Karstcast, and then I was like, wait, there's no dialogue. I don't even know what we'd say about this.
We wouldn't talk either.
Yeah. We just stare. Which
he got
probably
the
not
best
the best
actor.
idea.
I can't believe I haven't heard of this. It feels like it should be more.
You should see it. It's good. I recommend. It's a better film than the film we're talking about. Which is not to say Finch is bad, but it's just okay.
It's just fine, yeah. That is the thing about Finch. It's just like, it's not a bad movie. Like it like has a thing to say. And one of the main points I was going to bring up was that I'm shocked that this was a pre-pandemic movie, because a lot of the writing, especially like Tom Hanks' whole monologue near the end about like the supermarket and the girl and like the people kind of losing their minds, I was like, this is something that like someone wrote in light of like the pandemic or something. And then I looked it up, and yeah, like you were saying, this was like pitched a long time ago and was like on the blacklist or something. Like no one wanted to do anything with it.
Well, what also is crazy is how it only has one human actor, so it feels like a movie you would have made at the beginning of the pandemic when you like production was really difficult.
Yeah, but they did this before the pandemic. Like it was filmed before the pandemic in like 2019.
Yeah, which is nuts.
I'm just like, that's crazy. This was before Tom Hanks got COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was okay. It was delayed.
Which would have been, you could not have released this for years if Tom Hanks died of COVID, because it's literally a movie
my
about
God.
Tom Hanks dying.
That they were probably like, yeah, that I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. It was scheduled to be released October 2nd, 2020, and then in June 2020, due to the ongoing COVID pandemic, it was delayed to April 16th, 2021, and then in January 2021, it was moved to August 13th, 2021, and in March, it was moved a week later to August 20, and then in May 2021, they renamed the movie, and then they released it in November.
Wait, they renamed it?
It was originally called BIOS, B-I-O-S, which I don't know what
sucks.
that. I know. I was like, Finch is a much better. It would have actually been so funny if it was just called Jeff.
Probably would have gotten more press.
Yeah. We would have talked
Jeff's
about
a hot
it
name right now.
way earlier. Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Jeff.
But yeah, I really didn't hate the movie.
No.
I definitely thought it was slow, and I was like, it's a bummer. I'm probably not gonna like ever think about this movie again. But it's I don't know if you saw my Letterboxd review, but I was like, this is something that would have been like the talk of the town like 10 years ago, like kind of when The Martian was doing really well, and like Wall-E was more than 10 years ago. But I'm just like, this is very much a product of that time, and now the fact that it's getting released nowadays, it just doesn't feel like anything new to anybody, but that doesn't make it a bad movie. It's just like one of those movies by
That's
a guy.
a great point, though. Just because it does feel like we've seen this before.
That's what holds it. Yeah. It just doesn't feel like it's doing a ton of new things, but it's also like interesting to watch it post-pandemic. Not post-pandemic, but like, you know, it just it's that's why I'm just surprised that it came out pre-pandemic, because I was like,
this film also does a lot of, it's kind of interesting but also weird in that it finds a way to ramp up the anxiety without ever having a payoff for the entire duration of the film.
yeah, that is
like,
true.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is like looking around. He's like, okay, something's about to happen, and then nothing ever happens.
Nothing ever happens. It's like I Am Legend without any of the actual like scare.
It's the director's cut when the director wanted it to be like really boring.
Yeah. I Am Finch. Yeah, it's definitely just like, it's got this like old school vibe to it. Like the score sounds like something out of, honestly, like Toy Story or something. Like it's just a very calm kind of like old man movie.
Yeah, it feels like a film where the like all the sets and the props were all built and Michael Bay was on to be the director, and then they fired him and brought on like someone else who doesn't like explosions.
Yeah. It was made by a Game of Thrones director. This is all I know about the director. I don't know much about him, and I should just but
which crazy there weren't any dragons in this then.
No dragons, no. They took it to the other side, robots.
That's the other. Wait, so real quick, in your mind, the opposite of dragons is robots.
Yeah. Beasts of the past and beasts of the future.
Yeah. It's like your kids thing. You're like, so on one hand you got Robots, the best movie ever made, and then the worst movie ever made, How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon, yeah. This movie should have been called How to Train Your Robot, because
it actually should have. That would have been the most accurate title possible.
Yeah.
Do you think
I thought
this is a kids movie?
It's literally like that's also an issue with this movie, because it has the tone of a kids movie where it holds back from doing anything remotely like intense or raising the stakes, because it's trying to keep it family. But it's also not anything a kid would ever watch. It's too slow and too mature in its themes to be something for the family.
Right.
So it really is just like not a movie for a lot of people. It's
Yeah, it's like a kids movie where the main themes are death and responsibility.
the family-friendly hit of the year. I will say though, like because of that, I think if you're an adult that's looking for like an easy, comfortable watch, and if you're in the right mood, like this is for you. Because I don't know, when I watched it, I was just like really. It was kind of, this is a stretch, but I guess it's like not too much because they're both Apple TV Plus. But it's like it's the same thing that I get out of watching like Ted Lasso, where I'm like I'm just cozy watching this. Like the stakes are so low. It's Tom Hanks. Like I'm just kind of enjoying myself for 2 hours. Not something that I'm ever gonna think about again. But like it serves its purpose. And I think that the movie does that well. But it doesn't really like feel like it's doing anything else.
Yeah, I don't know if I could ever rewatch this.
No,
because
no.
the thing is that what keeps it a little bit interesting is the promise that something might happen.
Yeah,
but because nothing ever does happen, I would know that going in the second time.
Yeah. It also like leaves you thinking there's going to be a sequel, kind of.
Does it?
Like, well, kind of. I feel like it ended on a note that was like, where's Jeff and the dog gonna go next? Also, wait. Quick side note. Didn't mean to just, but Goodyear is a terrible name for a dog, in my opinion.
Name.
I hated that. I just thought about it. I was like, Jeff and what's his name? Oh, Goodyear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and obviously named after the tires I saw when I was watching a child getting murdered.
Yeah. Where did you watch this? Like, what was your experience watching this, Jeff?
I watched this exactly where I'm sitting right now.
Okay. Today? Like before the podcast?
No, yesterday.
Or? Okay. I didn't know if this was like a plane watch or family
no,
on
it
the
was
couch.
No, it was just a me by myself watch.
Nice.
I had to focus.
Yeah, you had to
had to get in that Finch mind space.
That Finch mindset, yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing a line of artisanal bumper stickers that say WWFD is what would Finch do?
What would Finch do? Yeah. Yep. What else? I did really like how it was shot, to be honest. I thought it looked really
It did look
crispy
good, actually.
and nice. Like the robot VFX were well done.
The robot VFX were actually great.
It was just didn't make any sense.
No, the robot technology made no sense. I don't understand how he worked.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Finch knew that. He was like, I know he was like some kind of programmy guy, but it doesn't make sense how he can build a fully functioning robot that doesn't require any electricity to run. Yeah. Like that was weird, right? Why did the robot never run out of power?
No. It was really weird. I'm just like, it was weird how the robot started off like very robotic, like
yeah,
you know how robots talk.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like as the film progresses, he has like emotion to his voice where it's like he's yelling too. And I'm like, robots don't yell. Robots aren't like over here. Like what is? It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Oh, have you seen Chappie, Jeff?
I have not seen Chappie.
Okay, neither have I. But just
You were gonna be like, well, if you have, is it like this?
yeah, I was gonna ask you about Chappie because a lot of people are saying this is just a better Chappie because I heard Chappie was like really bad. Also about like a robot or something. But I guess we can't really talk about that.
I guess I don't even want to watch Chappie now. If this is
No.
a better version of Chappie,
I mean, Chappie might be a fun podcast movie, but
I mean,
probably not gonna watch Chappie.
you know, Chappie is a much worse name than Jeff.
Yeah, imagine if your name was Chappie. Karsten and Chappie.
When we went up, then like every episode, people would be like, "When are you gonna do Chappie?" Be like, "We did Chappie as our second episode."
We got it out of the way,
We got it out of the way. We knew everyone was going to talk about it because my name's Chappie.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, we might as well, wrap this up. I'm trying to think of what else there's to say about Finch, but that's kind of, it's just,
I didn't mind that I watched it. It's like it's a very comfortable movie to watch. It's like something you could recommend to someone where you're like, yeah, it's all right if you want to just watch something that's chill and Tom Hanks is in.
I said this in my Letterboxd review. I was like, this is probably my go-to recommendation for Thanksgiving. Like when my relatives ask me like what to watch, I'd be like, Finch is, just because I feel like it's fine and it's like interesting enough. I feel like it's what like my grandma would consider like an artsy movie. She's like, oh, it's slow and a lot of one character, but it's not like, I don't know.
Now, it would be a lot more fun if you recommended your grandma Titan.
I was just about to make that joke. I was like, gonna be like, I think this would go over better than T10. Yeah. I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, whenever it was, when my grandma asked me for like a movie recommendation, and I was like, Grandma, I think you'd really like Knives Out. And she was like, Knives? No. I was like, no, I promise. It's like, it's not violent. And she's like, I don't think you understand. I was like, I guess I don't.
Yeah. It's like James Bond doing a mystery.
Yeah, I was like, it's really good. It's like a mystery. It's like a murder mystery, Grandma. And she's like, murder? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Don't watch it.
Yeah.
So I think she'd like Finch.
Yeah, she'd love Raw, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's what would you give Finch? I feel like I may have liked this a little bit more than you, but I'm not entirely sure.
It's one of those movies where there's nothing. I'm just gonna say 3. It seems
3,
like right in the middle for me. It's like
right in the middle.
It's a movie. It's a movie.
I'd probably
neither bad nor good.
I'm probably leaning more towards a 3 than a 3.5, but I gave it a 3.5 for now, just because I'm like, I didn't have a bad time. I was like, this is a competent movie that like looked nice, and it's Tom Hanks doing his thing.
Yeah. I have a question. What is your favorite Apple TV exclusive movie?
Well, I think this is the only one I've seen.
No, you've also seen On the Rocks.
Oh my God, I have seen On the Rocks. Oh, and I've also seen Boys State, which is that documentary, which is a really good document. I think it's super funny and like very kind of up my alley. I really like Boys State, actually. That's gonna be my pick. Jeff, we should talk about Boys State, is what I'm realizing. Yeah. I think you would really like it. But yeah,
I'm down.
It's in an unusual experiment. 1,017-year-old boys from Texas joined together to build a representative government from the ground up, and it's really interesting. But yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just list you the other movies, and I'm curious if you've even ever heard of them, because these are all released in the last 2 years as Apple TV original movies.
Apple TV's been out for 2 years.
Yes. So their first one was Hala. It's a coming of age film.
No, never heard of it.
The Banker.
Nope, never heard of The Banker.
Greyhound, starring Tom Hanks.
I've heard of Greyhound. Yeah, damn, Tom Hanks getting the Apple.
Yeah.
The Apple paycheck.
Okay, then On the Rocks, which we've both seen.
On the Rocks, which we
did you like On the Rocks? Yeah, we did. Which did you prefer, this or On the Rocks?
I'd prefer this. On the Rocks,
I think I would too.
They both have the same appeal, as in they're like both extremely bland, like comfort watches. But this felt more genuine than On the Rocks, in my opinion. Yeah. I believed this relationship more than that one.
Yeah. All right, next you got Wolf Walkers.
Oh, fuck! Wait. No. Wolfwalkers is great. Wolfwalkers is a fantastic animated movie.
It's an animated fantasy. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
I've never heard of it.
Apple TV Plus It's a good one. One of my
All
favorites
right,
of last
you
year.
still got a few more.
Okay.
Okay, Palmer, the one with
heard.
Justin Timberlake. The only thing I know about it was that was the one where everyone was making fun of the poster because it was like the most generic poster. It looked like every
just
other
like the
poster.
Stillwater.
Yeah,
poster with
exactly.
Matt Damon. That's so funny.
Yeah. So so you haven't seen Palmer?
I haven't seen Palmer.
That actually might be funny to watch for the podcast.
I would watch Palmer because there's a trailer thumbnail where he's like bald and like his eyes are completely bloodshot red, and it looks bad. But we would
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also got Cherry.
Never seen Cherry. They like their one-worded movies, don't they?
Yeah. Now.
Oh, Cherry.
Cherry
That's
was
that's a big one.
Russo. It's a Russo brothers.
Yeah, with Tom Holland. Yeah. No, never saw Cherry, but I was actually curious to see Cherry.
Yeah,
But never
Maybe
got
we'll
around
have to
to
just
it.
do like a
An Apple TV
episode.
retrospective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could do an Apple TV video. That would.
I watched
probably
every
love that.
Apple TV original.
Yeah. That's doable too. It's like 10 of them or something.
Not that many. I've already seen a good chunk.
All right, we got 3 more, including Finch. Coda.
Never seen. Oh, I heard Coda's good though. Maybe Apple TV isn't the worst. Because I heard good things about Coda.
Yeah. And then there's Come From Away, which is an American-Canadian musical comprising of a live stage recording. So it's really just like a Broadway musical that they filmed and called a feature film.
Gotcha.
And then Finch.
Wow.
And they have 2 more coming up, like one releasing next month.
Which one is it?
Swan Song.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. And then you got The Tragedy of Macbeth and Luck.
Oh wow! Wait, the Tragedy of Macbeth. That's a big one. Maybe they got it going on.
Yeah,
Maybe
Denzel
they're
Washington.
doing- yeah, it's like Francis McDormand, Denzel
Yeah.
Washington.
No.
Okay, I was gonna suggest another movie that we should watch for the podcast, Jeff, but maybe we're getting too ahead of ourselves.
We are. We have like 10 movies just this episode we said we should watch for the podcast.
I know what we're watching next week though.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll save that for the end. But so that's Finch. I think that about covers it. I would
think so.
recommend it. I would say if it seems like something you were curious about checking out, Tom Hanks and a robot, give it a watch. You'll probably have a good time with it.
That's a great way where I have some films where I'm like, even if this doesn't sound interesting, you should still watch it. This is not one of those. This is like, if you are interested, or
Check it out.
If you're interested by the idea of it, then you should watch it.
Yeah.
But if not, you probably don't want to watch it.
Yeah. Well, that was Finch.
That was
on Apple
Finch.
TV Plus. Let's move into questions. These come from the Carscast subreddit. Big thanks to everybody over there.
It's one of my 30 favorite subreddits.
Yeah. This first one comes from Bopsy Boy. And do either of you listen to Kendrick Lamar? How do you like him? That's a funny way of putting it. And are you excited for his new album? I know I am. Do you like Kendrick Lamar, Jeff? Or
I have never gotten into Kendrick Lamar. I know I should. Everyone's like, Kendrick Lamar
he's pretty good.
is good.
He's good, yeah. I didn't know he was coming out with a new album, to be honest. I mean, I assumed it because it's been like 5 years, but
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, yeah. And also happy birthday, Bopsy Boy, because you have a cake next to your name, which means I think
That's
it's your
a
birthday.
Reddit. No, it's a Reddit birthday.
Oh, so it's their like
It's like when they
birthday from
created
when
the
they-
account.
Interesting. Okay, that's why we answered the
think.
question because you had a cake.
Yeah.
This next one comes from Educational Bowl 186, and it's as a fast food worker, best/worst experience getting food, and do you think that fast food employees deserve to be treated better given that places are always understaffed/working during a pandemic, or are you neutral on this subject? I mean, obviously, yeah,
Yeah,
they should be
that's-
treated better.
Yeah, I
It'd
also
be really fucked up if we were
am
like, no,
for-
fuck them.
a $15 minimum wage nationwide,
Absolutely, yeah.
which obviously would affect the fast food industry tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've never generally my experience at fast food restaurants is good because I'm like, I want Taco Bell, and now I have Taco Bell, so it's great.
Yeah. No,
And I mean, I don't think I could actually do that job very well because you have to keep so many things like in your mind, like running, and also, especially for people who have to make the food. Like, I think I would be the worst fast food employee possible.
absolutely. People give them a lot of shit, but like sometimes I look behind the counter,
Yeah.
and I'm like, God damn, there's a lot of concentration that goes into this job. And sure, there are like bad fast food employees, but
Yeah.
there are bad. Never mind. I was gonna be like, there's bad podcasters, us being one of them. But that's not true. I think we're great at our jobs.
It's not a job, but
It's not a job. It's a
something.
hobby. Yeah. I mean, that's best / worst experience getting food. I mean, the best are just like when you need it and comes out nice.
Or it's like when you have a very specific order and it's like done perfectly.
Yeah. Exactly.
See,
That's the thing.
I'm a fan of it. McDonald's. If I ever get a hamburger, which isn't that often, but when I do, I try to get extra pickle because I'm a big pickle guy. And then when you get that hamburger and they actually did put like extra pickles on it, I'm like, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's right. I think I have a pretty consistently good experience with Taco Bell. I think they are one of the most consistent fast food chains. They like you order the beefy 5-layer, you're getting the beefy 5-layer.
You're getting all 5 layers.
You get the same thing every time. There's never like this Taco Bell's better than that Taco Bell in my opinion. I think they're all doing the same thing.
I'm going to disagree. There was a Taco Bell near the one that was closest to where we used to live in Roscoe Village. It was on like Clybourne.
Okay.
It was right next to the metro tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, that Taco Bell for some reason had way higher Yelp reviews than every other Taco Bell.
And it was good?
It was. They never messed up any orders ever. I went there. When I lived there for 4 years, I went there. Probably 50 times. They never messed up an order.
Damn.
And yeah, everyone was very nice. It was the best Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So that is the best Taco Bell.
Nice. I would like to, on that note, give a shout out to like the worst McDonald's I've ever been to, and it was the one on Fullerton, right next to DePaul, the Lincoln Park campus. It is shut down now, but it was on the corner of like a very busy intersection. It was like being in a basement when you went in there. It was like the lights were all off, and it was like all gray, and the food was always like cold and not good. The workers were always like really like rude, and it was just bad. It was like a noticeably terrible like McDonald's.
Yeah.
And it was like that at all hours of the day. It wasn't just like late night when you're drunk. It was bad anytime you went. Hated that, but it's since shut down. No one was sad about it. Chipotle replaced it. I've not been to that Chipotle yet, but probably
one of my favorite things to do while traveling is go to fast food places because they have different menu items depending on what country you're in. So McDonald's in different countries have like different types of fries.
Yeah.
So some countries have like potato wedges, some have like curly fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just as an aside.
One of my best McDonald's experiences was the one in Paris when I was like really tired. It was after seeing like Endgame, and it was really late and every place was closed, and I needed something quick, so I went to a McDonald's and had like a tremendous meal. It was so good. They like do it so much better in Europe, in my opinion, than they do here. Like, anyways, or maybe it was just because I was really hungry, but yeah, I think that answers the question.
Yeah, it's probably a combination of both.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think we thoroughly answered that question, probably more than the person who asked it wanted us to.
Yeah, like fast food isn't the healthiest, but I think it deserves much more respect in society, as it is always there. It's reliable, affordable, and yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would say don't eat it every meal.
Don't eat it every day, no, but
yeah.
not something to look down on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this last one comes from, well, actually, we'll do this one. I'm curious. This one comes from Dr. Aneurysm, and it's just to Jeff. It is, what does Jeff think of Troy Jackson, a.k.a. Escalade? Now, I don't know who that is, but
I actually do know who that is.
that's why they probably asked that. Yeah.
So I'm just to confirm my facts here. Yeah. So Troy Jackson was the younger brother of Mark Jackson, who was an NBA player. And he died a while ago, I think like 10 years ago, but he used to be on the And One mixtape tour, which when I was young, I used to watch sometimes. It was just like this street ball thing where they would have these kind of show matches of basketball where they would just do like crazy dunks and like passes and stuff.
Yeah.
And like mainly it was just like people doing like dribbling and embarrassing people.
Yeah.
But it was funny. And Escalade was like the main guy.
Yeah.
Because he was this like giant guy who would like be the guy who was mic'd up and do the voice of all the of like he would kind of be like the commentator.
Yeah.
And he would just like laugh at people when someone would dribble past someone. So he was great. Yeah. No, it was very
I'm
very
looking
funny.
at pictures of him. He is a massive person.
Oh yeah, he's
Like,
huge.
Really
but,
tall. Yeah.
No, it was a good time. I mean, I used to watch it when I was young, so yeah, it was entertaining.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
It's a very odd question. I'm not sure why they assumed I would
I know
that, but
I think
they were
Dr.
correct.
Aneurysm always has the sports takes,
Yeah.
and we get our sports talks from Dr. Aneurysm. So, thanks, Doc. Anyways, let's wrap this up. Starting with next week's movie, which, hear me out, Jeff.
I'm
I think
hearing
this
you
would be a
out.
funny one.
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's watch Tick Tick Boom.
I've never heard of that.
It is Lin-Manuel's directorial debut. It's a musical/drama starring Andrew Garfield.
What?
And it's on Netflix.
What?
I'm hearing silence.
Apparently, it's supposed to be good.
I mean, yeah, I've heard good reviews, and I'm just like, we have fun with musicals.
Yeah, I'm down.
Sorta. We'll just give it a shot.
Because the one I was gonna say is, isn't there like a new rock movie on Netflix as well?
Rock, as in The
Like
Rock?
The Rock.
Oh, wait, you pitched this, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
Wait, let
saying
me-
like I'm definitely fine doing Tick Tick Boom.
Wait, are you talking about Red Notice?
I think so.
Because I heard... Okay, wait a second.
I heard it's supposed to be really not that good.
I heard it's supposed to be terrible.
Yeah, that's what I heard,
Which
too.
could be fun. It's an action comedy.
Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock.
And Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Honestly,
okay, I always forget how you pronounce Gal Gadot. Is it because I think it, since they're not French, is it like Gal Gadot? Is that right?
I don't know. I'm not caught up on my Gal Gadot.
Right. I always forget how it's pronounced. I
knowledge.
remember it's like not how you would think, but I forget if that means which way you do it.
I'll be honest. I'd rather watch Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah,
which
that's
is a
fine with
crazy
me.
thing to say, but I've been watching so many bad movies recently. I'm like, I
Yeah.
kind of just need something that might be good.
Yeah. Yeah, because Finch didn't really push the needle one way or the other. It's like, yeah, this is pretty
No.
decent. It's like you weren't mad you watched it. You
Yeah,
didn't watch
no.
it and think, oh, this is bad.
saw
I'm
Finch.
annoyed. Yeah, you saw Finch.
Yeah.
But it also didn't give you like your good movie fix.
Exactly.
So now
I
you got to
watched-
turn to your good friend Lin-Manuel for that good movie fix.
I need those hot jams, to get me back in the mood.
Yeah.
So we're watching Tick Tick Boom next week. It's on Netflix. Same exact runtime as Finch. And also Red Notice is the exact same runtime as well. Every movie nowadays is an hour and 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is
It's the perfect
interesting.
runtime.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's not.
I didn't want to
90
make that
minutes.
like a thing. Like, what
That's
if every from now on I just insert that into every episode where I'm like, you know what, this film would have been better if it was an hour 55. Like Titanic, James Cameron should have just shut this off at an
Should've
hour
just been
55.
Hot 87.
Yeah, then my sister, when she had the VHS when I was younger, would have fit on one VHS if he kept it to an hour 55.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's next week's movie. Next, we like to read a review to encourage you guys to leave reviews. I'm gonna go to Chartable right now to find it, but while I'm looking for one, just know that these help the podcast in the algorithm.
Yeah, I want to say that my brother has a new podcast. That's a Formula One podcast, and he was, asking people for reviews. And his initial episode, he got his podcast to the #1 Formula One podcast in America.
Yeah,
based on people reviewing it for him. So the reviews do help.
You saw how that turned out for him.
Yeah,
let's.
I mean, that already did help us because our first episode we had people do that, and we got to like the #3 film and TV podcast,
which was cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, this one comes from Bickelm from the USA, and it's 5 stars, which is what you're supposed to do. Subject line is Florida, and the review reads, "As a sad Floridian, I love listening to Jeff dunk on Florida. Thanks for the great content." Thank you, Bickelm, for that comment.
Florida's
that's pretty much it.
Sure is a place.
I saw a tweet that was like, the rest of the world looks at America the way America looks at Florida.
Yeah, and that's pretty true.
And then someone was like, what does Florida look at? And they said Tampa, which, is that true?
No.
Is Tampa the Florida of Florida?
No, that's Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, lastly, we want to thank the people that are keeping this podcast alive, the patrons, the lovely patrons over at patreon.com.
Karsten has often said, if we didn't have the patrons, I would quit.
I'd quit. I'd drop the pod.
And that's a phrase he says all the time. He's like, I'm going to drop that pod.
I'm going to drop. Yeah, I'm going to drop that pod.
Dropping the pod.
I've heard it. But yeah, if you're looking for a great way to support us and also get some extra Carscast content, you can go to the Patreon, patreon.com/Carscast, where you get exclusive access to bonus episodes, Q&As, shout-outs at the end of every episode, Zoom hangouts, and possibly more. Can't guarantee it, but maybe there's some more stuff.
Maybe, you never know. I mean, we're not saying you're going to get more.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a great way to support us if you love the podcast so much.
Or even if you just like
becoming a patron. Yeah, it helps make the podcast better. Even though you guys helped pay for Jeff's microphone, you can still support to help me pay for my microphone because I want one of those mics now.
It's a cool microphone,
and it would really make the podcast sound a lot cooler.
Yeah.
So consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Carscast. And without any further ado, thank you, A Scribble of a Boy, Alex Thomas, Anson Contreras, Antonio DeMarco, Blake Root, Boat, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, Chuck the Duck, David Sir, Eden, Finlay James, Richardson, Gavin Gibson, Grant Gow, Harry Remedianakis, Iva, Jay Neaston, John Van Hout, Jordan Hill, Carson Do a Backflip, Katie T, Liv Rob, Logan James, Chapman, Lukewarm, Maddie Robertson, Martin Deff, Mary Lee Borslow, Meridian, Monopoly Shrimp on the Barbie, Monroe Page, Nora B. Riley Oss, Sophia Arieta, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Werben, Jagerman Jensen, Tobias Broke, I keep forgetting, Tom Lakes Beans, Wes Kinley, Wiley Todd, Xavier Fossier, Yusef A., and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. Thank you once again.
Good reading.
Everybody. Thank you.
I want to say I've been surprised that none of the patrons have changed their name to start with a Z to try to be the last one you read.
Yeah. No, they kind of stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I really had a good time with that. But yeah, thank you guys. And that is the podcast coming in at a tight 58 minutes.
A tight hour 55.
Tight. Yeah.
It's the perfect length for a podcast. And then Carson just leaves after an hour, and I just sit here telling you about the latest sports news.
Yeah,
I'm like
sports recaps for the last hour.
So Jack Eichel was traded from the Buffalo Sabres to the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah. Anyways, catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.
Flip side.